Is 2020 the start of the end of the world? Stick around and let's talk. Hi there, this is Arnold and this is One Point. Let's figure out how to live life to the full 1 point at a time. A friend of mine in the States told me recently with sarcasm and lament, 2020 just keeps getting more exciting. Their home in Southern California is near the forest fires and it's getting closer and closer. They're ready to evacuate. Yep, 2020 is exciting, it's weird, and honestly, it's not fun. Famous personalities dying, the US almost got into a war with Iran. Riots, killings. Here in the Philippines, Mount Taal blew up in January. Everything in the backdrop of a global pandemic that killed almost 1 million people and made the whole world at standstill. Nasa September pa lang tayo. Some people are asking and concerned, is 2020 the start of the end of the world? You know, some kind of Armageddon happening or some asteroids hitting the earth, killing all the inhabitants. In fact, some newspapers are theorizing this. There are some religious groups that are always on the lookout for the mark of the beast, the 666, and even saying that some microchips will be planted in you before you get the COVID-19 vaccines. Some of you are laughing at the absurdity of these claims, but you know, some people really think it that way. In fact, maybe you do, or if not, maybe it crossed your mind. With all that's happening around us right now, is this a prelude to some type of catastrophe that ends it all? Magugunaw na nga ba talaga ang mundo? I'm going to tell you my direct answer. It will disappoint you, but I hope that you'd stick around and will let me explain. Magugunaw na nga ba talaga ang mundo? My answer is, I don't know and I don't care. I honestly don't know. I mean, all my early years, I've been part of a Christian sect that obsesses itself in eschatology. And, you know, really, it's a futile exercise. They'd show you the prophetic timelines, images of the beast. They'd theorize who the 666 is based on their interpretation of some obscure verses in the Bible and their own prophets. They'd always on the lookout for those news items that, as far as they're concerned, fulfilling the prophecies. The end result? Fear. There are certain ways to deal with this, but you've got to be honest. Predicting the future is a futile exercise because, let me state the obvious, we don't know the future. So, I don't know and I don't care. Bakit wala akong pakialam kung magugunaw na ba ang mundo? Because the reality is that everyone dies anyway. I mean, COVID-19 or no COVID-19, end of the world or not, according to statistics, everyone dies 100% of the time. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. It may sound gory, I don't want to sound insensitive, but that's just the reality. So everyone dies anyway. Why would I care if it's the end of the world? But here's our 1 point for the day, and this one I care about. Don't worry about the end of the world. Worry about your end of the world. This is what the author of the book of Hebrews said. People are destined to die once, and after that, to face judgment. Everyone is destined to die, but after that, to face judgment. The point is, every one of us has our own end of the world. Don't worry about the end of the world. Worry about your end of the world. And I don't want to sound like an alarmist, but your own end of the world may happen next year, or maybe next month, or this week, or even after you watch this video. Wag naman sana, hindi natin yun gusto, pero reality yun eh. And after we die, that's it. The question is, are you ready for your own end of the world? Are you ready when you die? It can be a good reflection question for us in the middle of these uncertain times. So the question for the day, type your answer below. Are you ready when your number is called? Why or why not? You know what? We can be ready. If you're not ready, you can be ready. Here's what Paul said. Now if you have died with Christ, we believe that we will also live with Him. We know that Christ, being raised from the dead, will never die again. Death no longer has dominion over Him. For the death He died to sin once for all, but the life He lives to God. If you die with Christ, you may die anytime, but you will live forever with Him. Death has no dominion or control over you. Knowing that you're living with Christ is living with certainty, without fear of what might happen in the future. What does it mean to live and die with Christ? We'll talk more about that in our future videos. If you want to know more about One Point, click one of these videos and see you again next week.